The next speaker is Honorable Vishwa Mahadeo. You have the chairs. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you,
The Honorable Vishwa Mahadeo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is Vishwa Mahadeo.
The Honorable Vishwa Mahadeo.
Thank you, sir.
Please proceed, sir.
Mr. Speaker, first I want to congratulate you on becoming the Speaker of this Honorable House and trust that you will be fair and just in your rulings. And I have no doubt that that is how it's going to happen. I also want to extend sympathies to my colleague across the aisle and to say I think Mr. Isaacs has a special day and to congratulate him. Mr. Speaker, I am glad to note that the honorable member who spoke before me took my advice last budget preparation when I advised her to read Vision 2020. Because there is little that I could answer her, because everything that she has said, nearly everything that she has said, comes from Vision 2020. Something that the Ministry of Health, under the stewardship of Minister Barry Ramsaran then, came up with that program. Mr. Speaker, however, before I start my presentation, I'd like to make some corrections. Guyana's first youth policy was actually completed in 1993. This is information that I'm sure Honorable Member Frank Anthony was trying to get over. The youth policy that is now being referred to in the budget was one that was started by the People's Progressive Party Civic and was funded by UNICEF. Mr. Speaker, changing the name of the Ministry of Health is not going to change what they do. Action speaks louder, louder than words. Mr. Speaker, I want to start my actual presentation by saying that I want to congratulate all my comrades on this side of the House who are here representing the people of Guyana at this level for the first time. I want to thank all the senior comrades on my side of the House, especially Honorable Member Dr. Bara Jagdeo, for standing up for our people and being here to lead the struggle to defend democracy and continue the building of a better Guyana for all. I know your caliber. I know that you will be a true representative and will represent in the best interest of all hardworking Guyanese. I would also like to welcome the new members on the opposite side of this House, especially my friend from Region 2, who I have known for quite some time, and a member from Region 6. Mr. Speaker, I would really have loved to say I congratulate Honorable Member Jordan on a good budget, but with a clear conscience, I cannot, because it should be better given the state of the country in 2014 going into 2015. When I quickly browsed through the document entitled A Fresh Approach to the Good Life in a Green Economy, I said to myself, quickly browsing, I said to myself, good that the honorable member recognized that Guyana was having a good life pre-May 11, 2015, and is proposing a fresh approach to continue the good life as a fresh person coming into the position. And green economy, I said to myself, hail LCDS. Then on page 15, I saw Vision 2020. I said, wow, Honorable Member Dr. Berry must have contributed significantly to this budget. But I am disappointed. First, Mr. Speaker, I want to point out some developments over the last few years, and I do so to emphasize that we have a solid base. In Region 6, irrigation pumps are installed in Blackbush Polar to provide water for the farmers. I pause to say kudos to our farmers, especially the rice farmers, and their organization, the Rice Producers Association. They, with the help of the PPP government, have broken all records, and this present crop will again provide a bumper yield. I call on the government of the day to show initiative to continue the success story of rice in Guyana. In drainage and irrigation, all canals were cleaned and maintained. 12 small excavators are bought, 3 large drainage pumps installed at 43, Rose Hall, and 19 areas that are prone to flooding. All main roads, secondary roads have been rehabilitated or maintained. Works being done in a systematic manner. New housing schemes. Fort Ordnance, Glasgow, number 7677, Chesney, Bloomfield, with thousands of homes built. Infrastructure works at the industrial site in Belvedere is almost complete, and hopefully processing of applications is already happening. New schools have been built where necessary, and those that are there were rehabilitated or expanded. Teachers training now in Berbice. University of Guyana now in Berbice. Technical Institute in Corriverton. New water treatment plants. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure my colleagues will develop on this, my colleagues from Region 6. In health, we constructed new theater, new outpatients department in Skeldon, new outpatient ICU and A&E in Portmont Hospital. These are, these are now to have equipment and to start functioning. We bought both an engine for Baracara and a new boat ambulance for Oriala, Siparuta, along with an ATV. New health centers in Angois Avenue, WIM, number 53, Siparuta, Port Morant, etc. Mr. Speaker, what alarmed me was when I looked at what the region gave me as to what was submitted but will not be built and will not be done in this year's budget. And I read, construction of health center at Mara, cut. Construction of health center at Providence will not be done. Halfway home for psychiatric patients will not be done. Doctors' quarters at New Amsterdam will not be done. Mr. Speaker, the mode of cutting seems to still be in place. Mr. Speaker, what we did, and these projects that are here, Mr. Speaker, I mentioned, these projects were there in the budget over the years as long-term plans. I want to focus on health in Region 6, Mr. Speaker. There is a good superstructure in place for health in Guyana. We have come a far way from the days when there were just a couple of medications available at government pharmacies, or when we used to recycle things like needles, syringes, and gloves. Those who are doctors and worked at that time will remember those days. This, some members of this Honorable House would not want to hear. In fact, some persons go on television and call-in programs, and when the people call in to ask them why they're misleading the people, they say, sorry, we're not hearing you, and cut them off, but the whole population hears. They only tolerate what they want to hear. Mr. Speaker, whilst we have come a far way, I will be one of the first to say we have not reached, and we still have a far way to go. However, we can only achieve this by building on what we have, utilizing all the resources and experiences available, putting the country and health of the nation, and in the case of Region 6, the health of the residents of Region 6, above partisan politics. However, Mr. Speaker, sad to say, I've been hearing pronouncements from some senior officials of this government that nothing is working, nothing good has happened, and year after year, things have gotten worse in the region. These pronouncements have come from persons occupying senior government positions at this time. I wonder if their eyes need fixing. I wonder who they're listening to, or if they have filters to filter out the good comments, so only negative comments get to the brain. I remember my mother, a noble and wise lady, telling me, if you make your ears a rubbish bin, only garbage will be thrown in. Mr. Speaker, the general and regional election season is over. And I say, stop campaigning. Get out of the campaign mode. Let us start campaigning when the next election date is set. In the meantime, let us build Guyana. And we will not do this by destroying what is working and getting rid of the qualified and experienced personnel just because the PPP government employed them. Their ethnicity and who they voted or campaigned for at the last elections must not matter in their professional lives. Freedom of choice and association is everybody's right. Mr. Speaker, over the years of my budget presentations, I've shown how we have grown in Region 6. I have shown how our regional health authority was legislated, implemented, regulated, and now it has been leading the way in healthcare delivery in the country in a number of areas, providing quality care for the citizens who access their services. I was surprised when I heard a senior government functionary declare the regional health authority in Berbice illegal. Kaichor News. Here's an extract. This official further said that there are no boundaries and no regulations stipulated. Mr. Speaker, I went to the Laws of Guyana on the Ministry of Legal Affairs website. I downloaded the following document with the title Laws of Guyana Regional Health Authorities Act, Chapter 3206. This document has 55 pages. And on page 39, it says, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, Regional Health Authorities Order. This order may be cited as the Health Region Number 6 Order. This is hereby established, the Health Region for Region 6 to be known as Health Region Number 6, having the same boundaries as Region Number 6 or East Berbice Quarantine Region. This order may be cited as a Regional Health Authority for Health Region Number 6 Order. There is hereby established a Regional Health Authority to be known as the Regional Health Authority for Region Number 6 to administer Health Region Number 6. This is followed by the heading Regional Health Authorities Regulations with a number of pages. So, Mr. Speaker, the RHA is a legal entity. Was this statement and following actions taken just to get rid of the staff that worked at the Regional Health Authority? Begs the question. The Health Authority had a first board approved by Cabinet, appointed by then Minister of Health Dr. Leslie Ramsamy. There are several boards after that. I guess now the official will say that the people in the RHA were the wrong people. But Mr. Speaker, I will tell you only a little of what the same proud RHA staff achieved. The RHA had a work plan, successfully completed 2 business plans, 2007 to 9, 2010 to 2012, and is supposed to be in its final year of the 3rd business plan, 2013-2015. Before the creation, business plan. Before the creation of the plans, a detailed evaluation was done of each facility.
Business plan?
And a long-term plan was worked out, together with medium and short-term actions. Region 6, Mr. Speaker, received the highest scores among all 10 regions for the 3 years that the Ministry of Health evaluated service level agreements. Over the years, the RHA even established targets for the hospitals, the 5 hospitals within the region. For the maternal and child health department, the department, and the environmental health department. As can be verified with Ministry of Health officials, the RHA 6 was the only entity in the country that did monitoring and evaluation in the form of quarterly reviews, starting from 2009. The last review was done in the first quarter of 2015. I hope, Mr. Speaker, it is not going to be the last such review. I hope it is recognized that reviews help us to plot our course based on solid evidence, as the previous speaker said, and population needs. Mr. Speaker, the RHA prided itself on its community feedback. There is a complaints department that investigated all complaints, amounting to 495 in 2014, of which 99% were resolved, and the 1% we needed to get guidance from Ministry of Health. We learned from these complaints, and they helped us to improve the quality of service. Towards empowering the people we serve, there was a mandatory health facilities day, Mr. Speaker, for each health facility. This started since 2008. On this day, the community and press are invited, and a report that includes achievements, constraints, targets, and plans for the next 12 months is presented. Users of the facility are free to give feedback and make suggestions openly and without fear. These days worked well and established in most places a good interaction and rapport between the community and the staff. It helped the RHA to provide care that is guided and in some cases demanded by the people. There are also regular surveys done, at least once per year for the health centers and 4 per year for the hospitals. The feedback again helped us to serve better. There is an annual evaluation that was done for each staff. Based on the findings, the best staff was recognized and rewarded publicly, Mr. Speaker, at 12 annual award ceremonies. At these functions, normally attended by hundreds of people, we present our report and are evaluated as the RHA too. The
honourable member has 3 minutes.
The last champion worker, Mr. Speaker, got a trip for 2 to Jamaica, sponsored by business. Mr. Speaker, I'm hoping, my 3 minutes, I'll try to stick to it, that the present government will also continue. I could make this available to them. With the diabetic school project that has been a success story, with the home nutrition program that has been a success story, with the care of the elderly and geriatric mega clinic that we started with the help of PAHO since end of 2030. No use to go and rediscover the wheel, Mr. Speaker. We have experience in it in Region 6. In addition, talking about suicide, Mr. Speaker, and I don't want to quote, it's going to waste my time to quote from this document here, but I want to say that in Region 6, since last year we started an anti-suicide program. It is going to take time. We know the results are going to show up 3-4 years hence. Mr. Speaker, the only region that consistently gave blood to the National Blood Transfusion Service is the RHA in Region 6. Men's health campaign is not mentioned in this document. We started it in Region 6. Other achievements including 100% immunization. So, Mr. Speaker, I just want to say any knowledgeable and efficient manager would have gotten an independent evaluation done before making a pronouncement on the RHA as to how it functioned. Then it would have been an informed pronouncement. A pronouncement has been made and may taint any evaluation being done at this time. Mr. Speaker, talking about the bridge, the toll for the bridge, I did some calculations and I found that $300 to go and come, a minibus carrying 15 school children go, 15 school children come, comes up to $10 per day. 200 days, let us say they go for 200 days in the year, $2,000. Give us back the $10,000 per year grant. Then each student is going to have, instead of the $2,000 per year, $10,000. Mr. Speaker, I also want to talk about a document that was presented where the Honorable Member Harman actually moved a motion saying that they passed, with their majority, passed this in Parliament. Bear Bridge, motor cars $2,200 to $1,000. Minibus $2,200 to $1,000. Motorcycles free. Promise. Can be implemented, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there seems to be a difference. Mr. Harman said, Honorable Member Harman said something, and then Mr. Honorable Member Jordan saying something. Now I draw your attention, Mr. Speaker, to a presentation where Mr. Honorable Member said that 50 beds. And I will answer him with something Dr. Karen Cummings, Honorable Member, said at the last budget presentation. Quote, concern number 2, mention was made relative to the extension of the wards at the obstetric and gynecology department of the public
Honorable members, let us allow the Honorable Member to complete his presentation, his maiden presentation to this House. Thank you.
However, the Honorable Member has not provided the methods that would be used to recruit more nurses or inform this august body of the anticipated additional burden which will be placed on the already drained and depleted nursing staff as a result of this expansion of service delivery. There seems to be confusion in the camp, Mr. Speaker. There seems to be chaos. We need to get some cohesion going on. Mr. Speaker, this budget sounds like campaign propaganda. PPP bashing and AP, NU, AFC aggrandizement. Enough talks, excuses, and little substance, Mr. Speaker. I've been in this House, it's not my maiden speech, Mr. Speaker, since budget 2009. For every budget, and in my humble opinion, Mr. Speaker, this budget presentation is the worst.
Yes,
Professionalism taught me. Professionalism taught me substance over form.
Honorable Member.
This budget is all about form over substance. Thank you for your indulgence, Mr. Speaker.
I thank the Honorable Member for his presentation. Honorable Members, I think this is a good time to take the suspension. I think this is a good time to take the suspension. The sitting is suspended for 1 hour. We will resume at 5 o'clock, and I will ask your cooperation that we can all meet at that time. I'll invite the members of the opposition to join me in Committee 2 for a very important event. The election